Hi, this is Tamara from mooglyblog.com, and today I'm working with Red Heart to bring you my latest episode of Yarn Love Video Yarn Reviews. In this one, I'll be talking about Red Heart Bunches of Hugs. This comes in 18 different colorways, both solids and prints, and you can see 3 of them right here in front of you. What you might not be able to tell at first glance, let me bring my hand in here for perspective, is just how big these balls of yarn are. So let's take a closer look at the label together. Now, you'll find there are 2 different put-ups of this yarn depending on whether you're looking at the solids or the prints. For the solids, there's 948 yards, which is 868 meters, and that's a whopping 14 ounces of yarn. Lots of yarn here for your big projects. Now, the prints are no schlubs either. Let me get this one in focus here. There we are. You can see the prints have 678 yards and 10 ounces of yarn. That's 620 meters for those of you on the metric system. So you can, even with the prints, which are a little bit smaller than the solids, you still get a ton of yardage. So let's take another look at the label here, what's on the back. And one thing I want to point out right away is this Confidence in Textiles logo right here. And also this tested for harmful substances little heart section right here. Both of these are how you know that this yarn is Okotex certified. You can kind of see that in the tiny little print right there. And that means that this yarn is 100% safe to use right up against baby's skin. So you don't have to worry at all about anything that might be in this yarn. It's 100% safe, which is really fantastic. You can also find information here if I keep turning a little bit. This does have a lot number, so you do want to make sure to buy enough of the same dye lot to complete your project, which, depending on how big your project is, could be more or less, but again, these are huge balls of yarn. And then if I flip it to the back here, you can see a little bit more information. It's a 4 medium weight yarn, and they recommend an eye hook. That's a good starting point, and a 5mm set of needles. Also, I just want to point out, because this is a baby yarn, and we all know baby items get washed more than anything, it is machine wash cold and tumble dry low, which is absolutely perfect. 100% acrylic, so no allergy worries, perfect for all your baby projects. So now let me show you a project that I've been working on in this yarn. I'll bring it up right here. This is the Bunches of Baubles blanket, and this will be a free pattern that will be released on mooglyblog.com on April 6th, which is in just a few days. You can see it's crochet, and it's actually upside down according to the camera right now, but here you can see it's got really great stitch definition, and I've used all 3 of the colors shown right here in this. And it's also got a really fun border, which I'm excited to share with you on Friday. So you can look for that pattern coming up featuring Bunches of Hugs. And there are also all these gorgeous patterns featuring Bunches of Hugs and the smaller baby hugs available on redheart.com. So let's take a couple quick looks at a couple of swatches I've made using this yarn. Here I just have a small swatch of half double crochet stitches that I've made using one of the solid colors of Bunches of Hugs. And I just wanted to show you really quickly here how easily this yarn slides on the hook. This is a Wooden Furls Streamline, so it works really well with wood. And I also tested it on metal knitting needles, which you'll see in a minute, and those also slid really well. In terms of splitting, I didn't find really any splitting. There were a couple times where I might have caught the yarn just a little bit, so if you find that to be trouble, I would just recommend using a hook that isn't as pointy. Just use a rounded tip hook if you do find it snagging, and that would probably take care of that problem. Like I said, I didn't really find that to be an issue for me at all. It is definitely easy to frog. Let me pull that hook out, and you can see when I was designing the blanket and coming up with that pattern, I did a lot of frogging, and I didn't see any harm to the yarn in the frogging at all. It didn't make it fuzz up or anything like that. It does have just a barest amount of fuzz. Otherwise, it has really, really great stitch definition, and I didn't notice any changes in the thickness of the yarn from color to color or between the solids and the prints. I'll go ahead and pull up my knitted swatch here. These are just, this is some Susan Bates 5mm, so this is the recommended needle size. And you can see in knitting too, I actually don't know what the rules are, what makes it a print versus a self-striping, like how long each color section has to be, or how consistent. I'll admit that's part of my knowledge that's missing. That's something I need to learn more about. But you can see these are relatively long sections. This is about 23 stitches wide. So we get some pretty long sections of color here. And you can also see too in the knitting, it's a little easier to see that there are just little bits of the colors in the white, at least for this print. So that gives you a little better idea of how that worked up in the garter stitch. It is reasonably squishy. It's 4-weight yarn. It's acrylic, so it's not super duper squishy, but it does have a really good feel. And it is also very nice. Just really nice feeling on the hands, worked up in either crochet or knitting. Like I said, I didn't notice any weight differences between the different colors. I think it worked really well on both the hook and the needles. Worked up really beautiful in either kind of stitch. And I think it's a great yarn for beginners too, because it's a great medium weight. It's not too heavy, it's not too thick. You can pick it up and you can really see the stitches that you're making with it. So that's my thoughts on bunches of hugs. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you'd like to check out more of this yarn yourself, be sure to head over to mooglyblog.com before April 30th. I've got a giveaway going, and I'll be sure to put a link to that giveaway in the description as well. So you can definitely check out that giveaway after you've watched this yarn review. Also in the description on YouTube, I will be sure to put a link straight out to the yarn, so you can go right out and buy that right away if you'd like. And that's it for Bunches of Hugs for now. So I hope you've liked this video. If you did, be sure to comment, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.